Thank you. Before I call the meeting to order, just a friendly reminder, if you have anything to comment or discuss on any of the agenda items, we would like you to come up to the center table when called. Thank you. I call the meeting to order. Jen, will you take roll call, please?
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Thune.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner.
Here.
Commissioner Corbin.
Here.
Mayor Denner.
Here. We have the agenda in front of us.
I would move to approve the agenda. Second.
I got a motion to approve the agenda and a second. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Seeing nothing under acknowledgement and appearances, does anybody want anything taken off the consent calendar?
Motion to approve consent calendar.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. We'll move down into unfinished business. I will open up the public hearing, ordinance number 1620, amend Appendix B zoning district and supplement regulation and definition. Chad, did you have anything?
I can say a few things if you'd like,
Okay.
Your Honor. Included in the agenda packet is the ordinance. Confirm that. I apologize. Yes, there is the ordinance and Planning Commission proceedings, unapproved minutes from December 10th, 2019. And then this follows a process where the City Commission has approved a moratorium on certain dwellings in the historic district. There was a proposed ordinance that was brought forth before the Planning Commission after that said moratorium, and that ordinance, there was some public feedback and questions on that, and after that was presented to you for your second reading and hearing, it was recommended to send that back to the Planning Commission to revisit a few things that were needed that needed to be addressed. That was done in December. Planning Commission had considered the revised ordinance, this one you have before you, 1620, and has recommended approval at their hearing. And then you also had accomplished first reading for that ordinance as well. And since that first reading, I haven't had anybody come and talk to me with questions or concerns. I should have also mentioned before the first reading, we also met with some of those same folks who had some concerns with the first ordinance, I'll just describe it that way, and talked about some different things we should consider in this revised ordinance. And some of those folks were at the last meeting to visit as well. So if I could get into the specifics of the ordinance, I'll try to just hit some of the high points. This ordinance defines and adds congregate living dwellings into the R60 district. The R60 district happens to be, let me say it the other way. The Madison Historic District happens to be entirely within the R60 district. So we've added this congregate living dwellings to the ordinances in the R60 district, both as a principal permitted use, which allows one congregate living dwelling with up to 6 adults, unrelated adults allowed in there. That is our standard. That's not being changed with this ordinance. And then it allows 2 congregate living dwellings as a conditional use. The second part is this establishes limitations within the historic district for those parcels within the Madison Historic District as defined by the State Historic Preservation Office. Thirdly, I'd like to point out that there's no changes to any other uses in the R60 or any other district outside the Madison Historic District, so everything stays the same. And then to talk a little bit more specifically about what this does in the Madison Historic District is this, as I mentioned, 2 congregate living dwellings are allowed as a conditional use, but furthermore it also limits those in the historic district, no more than no more than 4 individuals, unrelated individuals, in that historic district. That is really the gist and intent of it, and I believe the language supports that we've included, coordinated quite a bit with the Planning Commission, the City Commission liaison, the Planning Commission, the mayor, First District, and also some correspondence with our attorney as well to make sure I'm on the right track with some of these things, and it seems like what we put together should work well.
So out of the historic district, they can have up to 6 unrelated, correct?
Outside of the historic district.
Outside
That
of
is
the historic.
correct.
Okay.
Inside of it's 4, right?
Right.
Inside it is 4, and in correct, yes.
Okay.
On a conditional use permit.
And then also has to be a conditional use if you have more than 1 congregate living dwelling. If you have 2, and you only can go up to 2. 2 with 4 people max per unit. And that 4-person max also applies to all other types of dwellings in the historic district as well.
We have a cap of 2 on the rest of our 60s for number of dwellings for conditional use.
In the art, this doesn't change anything outside the historic district. So right now, let me turn to that so I can.
For congregate living.
Oh, for congregate living, yes, still only 2. But you can, outside the historic district, you can go up to 6 or our typical.
You can go up to 6 with a conditional use outside the historical
Correct.
district. Okay.
But only 2 dwellings max. Only 2 of those congregate living
Right.
dwellings.
That's what number of dwellings was
Yes.
my original question, I guess.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Because the ordinance that died, we could go up to 4, I believe.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
With 6 people. Now we can only go up to 2, which I think fits well with our 60 by the well.
Yep. Is there anybody in the audience that wants to speak on this?
Good evening. My name's Tim Tucker. I think this are good changes that are being made. I'd like to thank Mr. Jenks, Mayor Dennert, Mr. Comas for their willingness to meet with us and the entire council for your responsiveness in addressing these needs. I think these are good changes and support them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Is there any more comments? If not, I'll close the public hearing and we'll move down in number 2. Do I have a motion to approve second reading ordinance number 1620, amend Appendix B zoning district and supplement regulation and definition?
So moved. Second?
Okay, got a motion and a second. Any further comments, discussion? Not hearing any, we will take roll call.
Thank you.
Okay.
Commissioner Johnson?
Aye.
Commissioner Waldner?
Aye.
Commissioner Dill?
Aye.
Commissioner Corbin?
Aye.
And Mayor Danner?
Aye. We'll move down into the new business. Do I have a motion to approve first reading ordinance number 1621, amend appropriation ordinance number 1603 for fiscal year 2019?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Jen, do you want?
Yes. All right, you have in front of you supplemental appropriations for 2019. It is a short list. As you will remember, we only supplement our governmental funds as required by codified law and the Department of Legislative Audit. You have before you those funds, departments, and line items that are in need of supplementing this year. As I have talked to several of you in the past weeks, there's no surprises here. Everything on here we've talked about. We've talked about RD. Many have appeared before you requesting use of reserves for a few of these projects. So if you want to go through just a few of these in the general fund, under under section 1, highways and streets improvements, 183,230. Those are the unbudgeted street portion dollars necessary for the engineering of the preliminary engineering report for the RD project. Snow and ice removal, because of the snow and ice and the crazy year that we have had, we are in need of supplementing the snow and ice removal department. We chose to supplement motor vehicle parts. We did have earlier in the year an unbudgeted gearbox to the tune of about $4,200 for the snow blower that needed to be repaired. Storm drainage, a couple things here. Professional services, $17,344. That's your unbudgeted Rock Creek wall study that you, as the Board of Commissioners, approved on October 28th of 2019. Also under storm drainage improvements, once again, we have got unbudgeted storm sewer portion, engineering for the preliminary engineering report for RD, $24,626. Library, repair and maintenance building structure, the $40,800 for the unbudgeted roof repair. Nancy appeared before you asking the use of that reserve. That has been done, paid, and applied. Also capital outlay books. Every year we supplement Nancy's book line item with the dollars that she gets as the contribution from the county, Lake County, $19,000. Moving to the Park and Recreation Fund, insect control, $3,888 from the state grant for the mosquito surveillance and spraying. Swimming pool, professional services of $6,000. Leak detection, that was also brought before you. Repair and maintenance, building and structure, $20,743. That was after the leak was detected. We brought MC&R Pools in here, and they did $20,000 worth of repair, which we also used the swimming pool reserve applied. We also used the swimming pool repair reserve for that. And then finally, in the Park and Rec Fund there, you have got repair and maintenance, building and structure for the Christmas lights, $4,224. Mr. McGilvery was here before you to request that. Total appropriations that we will need covered, $324,017.32. Where are those dollars going to come from? As you know, primarily your cash balances. So under section 2, general fund balance sheet, we will use $270,161 worth of cash to offset the expenditures above. We will use $19,000 worth of contributions from other governments, which ties out to the $19,000 for the capital outlay books. Finally, Park and Rec, cash balance $30,967, and then to offset the chemical expenditure, we use the state grant revenue of $3,888. Once again, total means of finance $324,017.32. First reading of this is this evening. Second reading 2 weeks from now. This is again governmental funds only. I have in front of me a draft expenditure guideline for December. All of the AP checks cut in December have been posted. We are doing some very thorough review of everyone, not only your governmental funds, but also your enterprise or proprietary funds. Got lots of notes here. Again, I've talked to several of you. We'll sit down with some of this, talk through some of these things. We will see overages bottom line to the water fund and the sewer fund, but once again, already related.
Chad, are you done? I'm sorry.
One more thing, do please look at these, especially the December ones that come out. You as elected officials, look at these, talk to your department heads. Anything you have concerns about, come see me. We'll answer any questions we can.
The $183,000 for engineering, is that a combination of design engineering and per engineering? Okay, thank you.
Yes, that's not all preliminary engineering report.
That's quite a preliminary
right.
engineering report.
Actually, I would say, and you can correct me if we're wrong, but the vast majority of it is probably more so design than actually for the per.
Because really the per should, for the street portion, should be like, what, 10 to 15,000 maybe?
Yes. I can't remember.
Understood.
I'm not making you recite those exactly, but I was a little appalled if that's how much we paid for a per. I mean, I know we're dealing with big numbers here, but
Engineering, all
Yeah,
related
thank
to
you.
this
Kind of
project.
lumped together. I can give you
I just wanted to clarify that. I'm good, thank you.
Jen, the leak detection, did that come out of a reserve also?
Yes,
Okay,
both came from the swimming pool repair reserve.
okay.
And you remember that you, on the pool repair, we authorized up to $30,000. The $20,000 that we are supplementing is only a piece of that. They did in 2019 as much as they can do. They are scheduled to come back in the spring before the pool opens and continue to do some work there. So later on next year, you will also see some additional up to this $30,000 applied probably next year.
Excuse me, 19,000, is that the full contribution that the county gives to the library?
Yep. We get $47.50 every quarter.
Okay.
What else? Again, take a look at these expenditure guidelines, especially the ones that will come out year end. Do also remember that the city operates on a cash accrual basis of accounting, so even though December is nearly done, we do code invoices back to 2019. We've got a software process. We do a star FY19, and those expenditures do hit your 2019 financials. And that will take us up to about February 1st. We do that for the first 2 check runs in January. Any invoice dated that comes through in the next several weeks with a 19 invoice must be coded to fiscal year 19.
Any further comments, discussion? All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Do I have a motion on number 2, approve application for taxi cab license, Madison Taxi Service?
So moved. Second.
Jen, is everything in order on that?
Everything, our friend Alan is all over it and everything is in order.
I talked to Chief Meyer, he says he's good with it too. Talked to him this evening, or before the meeting.
I thought we were roll calling all ordinances. It's fine, I mean, I'm just wondering why.
First
that was
reading I
different.
don't normally, second reading I do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We certainly can.
No, I
Mayor
was
can
just
call for
wondering,
roll
okay,
call anytime.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right, not seeing any further comments or discussion. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Public comment?
Nothing.
Nothing? Any announcements? Not hearing any? No executive session. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Yeah, I'll second that. I hate to see it die for
Okay. All in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
All right.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.